Alright, so here's the current project. We're just going to try and rebuild the front end. I don't know what parts are here. Lady who I'm doing this for got the parts. And I think most of them are here. Some of them are in the cab. Smaller ones probably. This is... can't read it. 2000, I think. Yeah, 2000. 2002. 2002. That's 2002, I think. XLT. It's got the 3-liter 4-wheel drive. I think it's 4-wheel drive. Yep, 4-wheel drive. Rack and pinion. It's completely destroyed. Probably see that. Pieces. It's just shattered. Supposedly we have a replacement. We're gonna pull off some. We're gonna pull off some front end parts and pull off some front end parts. Look like the metal core support is bent, but the frame, if you look straight down, the frame's pretty intact and straight. So I think you just caught this metal in right here. So we'll pull some parts off, reuse what we can, save what we can, and put on the new stuff. I'll uncover the back and we'll see what we got back there. She's got them over there, so yep. Alright, so looks like she got a good variety of parts here. The marker light, headlight, hood hinges. The hood wasn't damaged, but the hinges are tweaked like pretty bad. So it you can see I'm bent back here, sitting funny. Yep, got the marker light, headlight, lower valence. Looks like a new lower valence. Black bumper instead of chrome. I don't care. Ranger fender. The headlight header panel. And then the new steering box or steering rack. The only thing I think we're gonna need extra are new tie rod ends. It's wow. Definitely have to replace those. And bumper brackets. Definitely have to place bumper brackets. You know, let's see if we got the clips on this guy. This didn't come with any clips. Well, we might have to clean those out, try to reuse them. But everything else seems to be okay, so we'll get started on her. I'm going to push it back so I can get more access to the front, about a foot. And then we'll just start disassembling. I think I can pull this front out pretty good. And then start putting it back together. Alright, I don't see a grill though, do I? Nope, no grill. Alright. Alrighty then. So, I know it was hard to see when it was in the car or in the truck, but you can see it was just shattered into pieces. That was a hit. There's another piece over here. Oh, I'm surprised. I mean, I haven't checked them, but I'd be surprised if something is not bent over here. Either the bearing compromised or the wheel bent. I mean, it doesn't hit that hard to shatter that like that and not be you know, the car itself not have some problems. It looks like the shocks are both blown out, so I'll have to show that to the lady. Yeah, look at that, they're both just done. Let me know how you like the new. I got the media pack for the oh, there's another part right there. I got the media pack for my GoPro, so hopefully you're getting better audio. And also I got a little light It's on. So I don't have to hold the light. But, I don't know. She's got a huge leak from the front differential, but I don't know that there's a way to fix that. I mean, it's, you gotta pull the front axle out, I think, or the front, yeah, axle housing to get that off, because the diff is right up against, so you wouldn't be able to get it out. Anyway, it's not an oil leak. You can see it's pretty clean up there, front and back. Oh, I love these Rangers. They're just cool. They're just cool. Yeah, like, look at this. I mean, how did that small connection not snap or bend when it shattered that? I mean, that's the way it came out, in pieces, like legitimate pieces. So here's the tie rod end. See if I can show you these. So these are, you know, they're still, they're not compromised super bad. Here's the other one. This one moves a little bit, but this is the driver's side, so it's not even the side that got hit bad. It moves a little bit, but Mike could reuse them. I think that's her goal. She's not a millionaire. But anyway, thought I'd show you it all apart, everything. Oh, then this is the damage over here. Bumper bracket horn. So, you know, it's supposed to be planar across here. This guy's back just a little bit, and this guy's bent back a good bit. And then the core support is bent over here. And like I said, all we're trying to do is get it back together so that she can drive it, and it's not a show car, nothing like that. So we'll probably pull on it from right here out this way, stretch this out, try to get this bend out up here, and this bend out here. So that implies that it's in, so we'll pull it out, and this one implies that it's back, so we'll pull it that way. We're kind of at an angle here. And then we'll straighten this guy out. I've let her know that we need to do bumper brackets, because you can see this one will be all right. It's flat. This guy twisted there and bent there, so we should be all right with this. I don't see any cracks in the paint or anything indicating a bend, but over here, whole different world. This guy is twisted. This guy is folded in half, so definitely have to do something there. I like to keep all this together because that retains the hardware, and I don't have to worry about it. But these snaps we'll have to get, because that was a problem with my other truck. They clip on this, and if they're not all four of them there, they don't want to retain, and they're missing off of that side too. So you got a black bumper, probably just because it was cheaper. But you can see it's supposed to be in a plane, and this one's twisted like a pretzel. But I'm more worried about something being bent. Look at that. That's compromised there. Upper control arm. Pretty easy bolt-on option on this thing. And the other thing I noticed is, right, those are loose. And on this truck you got to do torsion bars to replace that, or at least take this off to press that out. And this side, like, it is tight, so almost implying something is not happy. If I had to guess, it's gotta be this guy up here. I might recommend replacing that, but when she takes for alignment, they're gonna tell her the same thing. So we'll see. All right, that's enough of that. All right, well, turns out to get the new rack in, I had to remove just swing the sway bar out of the way, which is minor. It's just 4 bolts here and here. there and there. They came out pretty quick. The stanchion was the hardest part. Those things, usually you break them when you take them off. This one I was able to get undone. This one would not come undone, so I was like, you can see I have lube on there. Whatever it's called. I did not want to come undone. You know, this guy's substantially rusted, but it's, you know, it's tight enough to stay where it's at with its own weight. This one, I don't know if you noticed that, it's bent. So we're gonna have to replace that. They're easy to replace when the rack's bolted down. So I'll let my lady know that she'll have to buy one of those. It's part of buying stuff. This came from LKQ, so definitely the right rack, just might have a little problems. They'll tell you if you call them up like, oh, that's bent. They'll be like, we sold you the rack, not the ends. So that's gonna have to be replaced, and it'll be on her dime. I forgot to clean this guy up here before I was gonna hit it with some Scotch-Brite. It's got a little surface rust on it, so I'll hit that real quick and then line it up, see if we can get it lined up to go on. And then I got that out. Oh, it looks a little grody in there, doesn't it? Might clean that up a little bit more, and then we'll start putting it back together. I'd like to get this on the ground with I don't know, with I might take that off of the other one. I threw it up in there. It's got to be bent though. Anyway, I like to get this on the ground with the ability to steer it and stuff, so I can do some pulling on the front. Because once I get the rack replaced, that'll be the next thing to do. Yeah, all right, so that's where we're at. Oh, made quite a mess over here taking these parts off. So this is the old guy. Had to take the boots off. They had little doodles on here, and these are the ones off the truck originally. These are the ones off the LKQ part. You can see they're just all rusty and gross. I was moving these things around pretty good. Yep. Dadgummit. Yeah. Anyway, all the parts. Oh, I took this off just because it's the tube that goes between the two. So it, when these are sealed nicely, they have vacuum in them when you move left and right, and that tube equalizes the vacuum. It just connects there on this part right here. So, anyway, that's where we're at on this guy. Pick up these nuts and bolts. I was making a mess trying to get those steering racks apart, all of the ends and stuff. Had to use the rattle gun, but we got her. She came apart, and we'll put it back together. Yeah, so far that's the tools. It's always like, oh, grab a pair of pliers, grab a pair of pliers. I like to have these. These are old, but they're wide, so that they go on these clamps right here. They get all three doodles on the clamp. It's kind of nice to have them around. That's about all they're there for. But anyway, so we'll put our gloves on, get this guy bolted in, the rest of the connections made, and then start maybe replacing that end or something. Get it back together. You know what? I'll get it back together the way it is, and let her decide whether she wants to put the old one off the old rack or a new one. Hopefully she goes with a new one. All right. All right. The owner of this white one came by. New bumper brackets, both sides. This guy and this guy. So it's time to build that. I forgot to lube all these bolts and stuff, so I got those things all lubed now, so we can take them out and start rebuilding that. One of the hinges that LKQ sent was red. You can see it used to be red, so I painted it white. It's under the hood and doesn't really have to match as long as it's white. I mean, look, it's like they're all dingy anyway, right? The other one was white and dirty. So, yep, I was gonna do the hinges just to do something quickly tonight, but I realized one of them needed to be painted, so now it's white. Got those things lubed. Oh, and she got the new fog lights, both of them. So I'll put those in the surround, and then I'm going to get those bolts off of the bumper and put the clips on here. So we'll be ready for that to go on. If I remember right, Most of that goes on, or can go on after the bumper. So I'll just get ready for it. Yeah, I don't know, I might. No, I was going to put one more coat on, but it looks pretty white. No red through there. So that'll be done. We'll have to let that dry overnight, no big deal. Put cardboard down because I'm not really trying to get my shop all white. Anyway, that's what we got done today. Not much. Just kind of laying stuff out. I had my old O2 Ranger in here, cleaning it up because it's gone up for sale. So I spent the weekend cleaning that, pulled the seats out and stuff. So you see that in another video. All right, well, another day. All right, well, I got all the brackets, old brackets off, new brackets on. Let's see if I show you here. I had to replace some hardware. Stuff broke out all the way around best I could. And when we set her down here, I look from the front. A little bit of gap on the left side bracket to the ground, a little bit of gap on the right. It's very consistent, so it looks like it's together good. Next step is I'm going to pull this horn out a little bit. And it does look like, when I'm looking down on these guys, it looks like it's bent to the passenger side. Both of them. So I'm going to bend this horn out. I'm using this old bracket. I haven't to tighten this yet. I'm using this old bracket so I can keep the face of the horn flat while I pull it out. And then I'm going to chain up here and yank it this way. Just get that frame straightened out a little bit. It's not super critical because there's slots here. And there's slots in the unit. So you can adjust the tippy-toppy-toopy, lefty-righty-rooty. You can adjust the bumper to fit as good as you can get it. Like I said, I'm not a frame shop, so. Then, like I was saying earlier, I'll pull in here, pull this guy out, and then we'll see how things fit. Yeah. Anyway, that's where we're at. She did bring by, I can't remember if I told you, she brought by 2 of these things. Painted this guy, I know you knew that. She also brought some shocks, but I think they're the wrong ones. She bought them off the eBay, and I think they're for the coilovers. And this is a torsion bar suspension, so it's kind of different. What else? She brought a grill. It's kind of cool because it came with the new clips, which I was trying to preserve those, but those things usually get loosey-goosey after one whack. And I've started to use the back of her bed for my junk as I get through stuff. So I might keep this fender because my son's got that Ranger, same year as this, and that one's not so bad, and his fender got messed up. I don't know. We'll see. So we got a few more parts to go through. A little bit of pulling to do. Oh, she also brought the new inner and outer tie rod ends. So we're going to throw those on after we get stuff pulled. That way it won't mess up anything. Not that the amount of pulling I'm doing is going to mess anything up, but swap those out. We'll get it towed in and towed out as best we can with a tape measure. And then I might mess with the torsion bars to get those things straightened up a little bit if they're not way out of whack already. The torsion bars, I mean. I know what the wheels are. And then we'll call her up, tell her to come by and look at it tomorrow. Should have it all together today. That's the goal, to get everything pulled, straightened as good as we can, and then back together so that we can ship this thing tomorrow, which basically means her coming and getting it. So, or me dropping it off at her house, one or the other. Either way, it's all good. pretty close. We'll hammer that down. Might need to straighten it out on top a little bit so it's straight up and down. We'll look. And then so the next pole is going to be that way with the frames. Try the side pole now. Oh, that one popped up. We're tugging on it pretty hard. I might try one more time. It just doesn't look like it's making a difference. Look straight down like that. You can see a little bit of a bend in here. That guy's still in the same spot. I'm gonna try one more time. I'm gonna reset the truck. Pull it a little harder than I think I should, and see what happens. We'll see what happens. Ooh. One more time. I'm going to call that a victory because that's about, I don't know if you can see that, that's pretty straightened up. It doesn't look like it affected this one much. This curve is still in there a little bit, but we can pull that out if we need to, just a little bit. I yanked on it pretty damn hard. So I guess we'll see. We'll twist this a little bit, get us a little bit more action, and that'll be it for the pulling. Oh, sorry, I got to do this guy here, so let's do that real quick. All right, try this again. So we're finished pulling with the big truck and stuff. We tried to pull this over as far as we could. Got a little bit of movement here, so it should be good, I think. We're going to straighten this guy up manually and then pound it down and put a nice weld on it. We got this flush now. These bolts come straight out, so they should be good. A little bit more form here. I pulled on this to get some stretch out, so I'm going to have to bend that back under, and that's when I'll straighten out this little spot here. But I'll do that with a slide hammer. We got our structure back in here, so a little bit of cleaning up. I drilled a hole and bolted the chain through so I could pull this way. Drilled the hole and bolt the chain through so I could pull this way. So we've got it, you know, where it's supposed to be. It, as best I can tell, it looks like the other side. We were able to get this kink out, so that's good. I put the fender on there a couple times and these holes almost line up. So I need to get this back up. Sorry. I need to get this back up with a slide hammer. and then there's a weld I'll hit there, and then level this out a little bit so it doesn't pull the fender down too much. But it's about as good as we could get with that. So it's back to mostly the way that structure should be, and we're gonna, yeah, that stayed bent too long, didn't it? Oh, it might be, no, that's like it was supposed to. Anyway, we're gonna start doing some manual slide hammering now. I couldn't get this kink out at all right here, so it is what it is. We did the best we could, and that's what we said we would do. So yeah, it's almost back to where it came. There's a whole panel that goes on the front here, so really I'll worry about structure for holding the fender and the panel. The panel ends here, and the fender has to line up correctly here. So it's getting close. We're gonna do a little bit, like I said, slide hammering, and then we'll go from there. Yeah. Oh, I had to swap this guy, or pull this guy out, because whatever truck that came off of didn't have the trans cooler, so it wouldn't go in there. So I used that to make sure that because it's got the brackets, make sure that my bolt holes lined up left to right, which they do. So that's why that's out. Anyway, yeah, I think that's about it. Going to start slide hammering this guy and cleaning it up. So I'm going to close the door so my heater can do its job. All right, so this is where I drew the line. I got this pretty straight. Got this guy lined up the way it needs to be. I put the fender on to check. It's about a 1/4 inch out here, so we'll be fine there. I just kind of tape this off. I'm going to hit it with some white just to get rid of all the open metal. I sanded it down a little bit. Back tape this, so I'm just going to try and get in here. But I didn't want it to be like blatantly obvious. Not trying to hide anything, really, for rust prevention. Yeah, it is what it is. So got that all tidied up. Man, that's the best I could do on this thing. It just didn't want to bend right down here, so it's still, because of this is out, so that won't stretch out. But I don't know. I think it's gonna work. We'll see. All right, just trying to keep you updated on the progress, so it's not like apart and then all together. This car, remember how we were looking at these frame rails and they're kicked off to the side about a 1/2 inch? Yeah, that was definitely a whack. When I went to put the hood hinges on, oh, what's that? Extra bolt, what do you know? Went to put the hood hinges on. This might be from the bumper. This guy was out 3/4 of an inch. So what I had to do, kind of hacky, but I drilled it over here, cut that inside so I could push this way. I still have 3/8 of an inch gap all the way up. It had pushed this guy back. You can see where they opened the door and it tweaked it all the way back. There's nothing I can do about that. There's no inside bolt to hold that in. And this one is broken right here. So I would have had to take this whole fender off to fix that one bolt, and that wasn't part of the deal. But it'll be fine. Again, we're just trying to make this so she can use it to tow her rigs again. It's not trying to restore it and resell it. If I were going to resell it, I'd have it frame pulled, because then all these parts would go on really nicely. Same thing over here. You can see, I mean, this is the side that got hit, but it's not bad. It's just got, 3/8 of a gap. We did end up aligning it so that the front fiberglass header panel goes in nicely. So even though it's kicked off to the side just a bit, it's all going to go together okay. A little bit of a conflict here. I don't know if that's normal or not. We'll see when we put the new one in, maybe. Over here, you can see that paint. I mean, if you have an eye, you can see this is a little more yellow, but you can't hardly tell. And you look down in there, it looks pretty good. Oh, here. You look down in there, it looks pretty good. You can see it maybe with that light. Anyway, doesn't look so bad. This looks like it might need to come out a little bit because that's hitting. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll clean this guy up. This one's not screwed into the bottom, so I got some adjustment I can do there. But, it's coming together. I still need to straighten this out, otherwise my bumper is going to be sagging, and then do a weld here. So I'm going to put the big, bolt a bar on there and then pry this straight. Then I'll weld that guy. And then the bumper should go on, and then after that we'll put the lower valence and the grill in, and we should be about done. She, like I said, she did buy some new front end parts to replace the old wore out and stuff from the junkyard, or the LKQ. So I had to do a little bit of finagling on that, but it's okay. She's got some new parts here, so we'll put those on probably tonight after dinner, and that might be all we need to do on this thing. It will be as good as it can get for what we're planning on doing. Kind of hacky, like I said, but just trying to help her out, and it's still turned into quite a bit of work. I'll run some paint thinner on here to get that stuff off, but yeah, it's coming together. All right, got the fenders adjusted as best as I can. Both sides. I got a little more gap than I'd like, but only so much you can do. It's been pretty good. And then I test fit the bumper, and I realized I should put the valance on, or the front valance. So I installed the fog lights and lubed up all my little bolts, and I reused the best bolts I had just because better threads and stuff. So all that stuff's in. Sorry, all that stuff's in. I know they're white, but no one will see them. That's the bottom, actually. Okay. I used some tie wraps because I didn't have all the proper clips here. I just went through it, I drilled a hole and went through, so hopefully that'll work. If not, then we'll have to buy some clips from Ford. There was one over here. That's what the clip looks like, but all the other ones were gone, which was weird, but just a tie wrap through a hole so it holds it from sliding out. And so now we're going to throw the bumper up on again, and hopefully this will be the final time. Then we'll do the front end parts. All right, well, got it all together. Everything's tightened up. Well, I should probably trim those tie wraps. Got the new components in. Oh, I got to add a couple tie wraps here too. There. Spend a minute trying to get it just a basic alignment so I can get to the thing. Man, those shocks are bad. She bought the wrong ones. I don't know what to say about that. Wheels are pretty straight with each other. I put a... Alright, my battery died and I just continued working. But anyway, here's the final result. Wheel on and off several times trying to get it aligned, and also I cranked on the torsion bars 3 turns per side. Got a little bit straighter, but not quite. I have a feeling that there's going to be some other problems that they're going to fix, and it's going to straighten that out. So this is what she looks like. Big gaps. It's a front end hit. They did total it, so that is what it is. Let's see the big gaps. Yep. Ranger on one side, Ranger XLT on the other. I'm not going to take that off and spend the time to mess with it. So anyway, there it is. Got new front end parts. The hardest part of putting the rack on, man, I'm telling you, was put tie wraps on. I don't know how you're supposed to do it, but shit, you can't even see them. That's how hard they are. No, you can't even see them. There's that holds the boots on. There's a tie wrap. It's a metal strap from the factory. Holds the boots on the inside. I do have this cross vent tube on. It's in there good, but you can see the new parts. I put those on, but I didn't do a lot of bending on them because they're gonna have to take them off to actually do an alignment. And those shocks are shot, both sides. You can see they're just done. But yeah, anyway, that's that. No, it's going to the alignment shop probably Monday. I told her to make an appointment. It's out of my jurisdiction now. This is the best we could do with what we had. I think it turned out nice. I got the sticky stuff and the markings off the side. It's a good looking fender. It's actually cleaner than the original truck. I noticed also, oops, I noticed also when I was throwing this stuff in the bed, this guy has got Bondo on it. It's already been hit in the front left once, which explains why it was missing bolts and stuff and clips, and it's been whacked in the front already. So yeah, here, look at this. So that sticks out just a little tiny bit. It's acceptable, right? But if you go over here, this is how bent it is. It sticks out 1.5 inches. Yeah, better like that. Nothing I can do. I tried pushing it that way as far as I could. Those horns were just bent. The whole frame, front end frame's bent, but she didn't want to go to the frame shop, so it is what it is. So there's some little differences here. And then look over here. Yeah. And then look down this. Quarter inch, 5/8. It's a 1/2 inch out. The whole front of the truck needs to come this way. I mean, this is acceptable for what she wanted. This is what she wanted, so it's what she got. And it is the best we could do here. I don't have a frame machine. You see me yard it around, so. Got a straight alignment. Those guys are almost not cambered bad. And the hood closes and opens nicely. I think all she needs is shocks and alignment. I'm going to give her these shocks back. The difference is on a spring, excuse me. So if you see, let's see if I can show you this. So if you look, the 4-wheel drive, and it's got a rod, because if you don't have 4-wheel drive up here, then you don't need that rod. So it attaches. These guys go all the way down. I'm not going to open them up, but they attach at the bottom, and the full width of the shock is down there. That's for a 2-wheel drive truck. So yeah, they either sent the wrong ones or she ordered the wrong ones, so it doesn't matter. But they're just shocks. The front end place can do it. They're good people down there. If she goes to the place I recommend, they're good people. So Best Tire Center. But yeah, anyway. It's a done stamp as far as I'm concerned. I don't think I can do anything better or different. If it was mine, I would have taken it down to the frame shop, but man, it gets expensive. It's $900 just to put it up on there, you know. So anyway, all right, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like I said, it's just a quick side job. Probably the rest of the videos, I got a couple of the yellow truck, prepping that, and then after that it's blue Mustang, blue Mustang, blue Mustang. You're gonna see a lot of blue Mustang. Sorry, you're just gonna see a lot of blue Mustang. And then we'll go to cruising the coast. It's possible we get the blue Mustang done and we have time to work on the yellow truck. Who knows? We'll see. If that happens, I might try and find a 2-car hauling trailer, take the big white truck, the F-250, and haul 2 vehicles down there and cruise in something else. My older brother Rob might want to drive an old 69, or he might drive a Mustang, or whatever. If we can get them both done, that'd be fucking booming. But I mean, sorry, excuse me, that'd be awesome. But if not, then we're gonna concentrate on the blue Mustang for sure. All right, I'm gonna close this one down. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's just silly work, but there's always something to learn. All right, thanks, man. Bye.